Hello, hello, and welcome to Bla Bla Black Sheep, a weekly podcast where I, Sarah Korth of SEK Handmade, answer your yarny questions. Welcome. I am so glad that you are here. Friends, I've got stuff to talk about. First of all, thank you for being here. I want to encourage you to like this video and subscribe, even if that is all that you do. That helps the podcast so much to be seen by other people. It is growing, and that makes me so excited. I love meeting new people and chatting with lots of people. So please, 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 it would mean the world to me. So thank you if you do that every week, because I know there are those of you out there who are like my diehard subscribers who every week you like and subscribe, or you're already subscribed and you like the video and comment. So thank you. I appreciate you. I see you. Hang around until the end. This is episode 25, and so I decided what better time than episode 25 to do a little giveaway. So we're going to do that towards the end. Yay! All right. What am I wearing? I'm wearing a special shirt, which we'll get to in a minute when I do small businesses. So I couldn't cover it up with a shawl, so I went with an earring. This is my Astana earring pattern, and I love them. You get, ooh, excuse me. You get the little triangle and the big triangle, and there are so many ways to play around with those two pieces to get all sorts of fun earrings just out of those two little pieces, and I love that. I love that very much. So highly recommend. Maybe I'll share like a few while I'm talking here. I think I have some pictures of different ways that I put them together, so that's fun. What is bringing me joy? Friends, I went to the Wisconsin Sheep and Wool Festival this weekend, and it was a lot of fun. It was kind of a long day because it wasn't exactly close to me. I think because of a road closure, it was almost a 2-hour drive. But there was so much to see. And I just had a great day. Now let's just talk about it now. So I drove down there. It was very easy to find. And there was a huge marketplace. So 2 full barns full of marketplace. So wandered around, looked at all the things, came back, did some purchases. They had food trucks for lunch. I had a very delicious pulled pork sandwich for lunch. Saw some animals there. Had I been more on top of it, there were classes you could have taken, which would have been a lot of fun to take a class. We got to see some of the sheep shown. I don't know if that's what you call it. I don't understand anything about what they're looking for or anything though, so it was mostly just like watching what to me looked like the exact same sheep with different people being paraded around, and like it's like a dog show, where they're like trying to get their feet in the right position and show them in their very best light. But I don't really understand. I don't understand what makes a dog the best dog either. But I like watching dog shows because I could own a dog. I'm not gonna own a sheep. And then they had this one building that was all about education. And so I got to see, like, I've been really interested lately. Oh, there's Weston. Really interested lately in breed specific wools. And like I read, oh gosh, I read a book. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I read a book all about, oh, come on, where the heck is the Kindle app on here? Oh, there it is. I read a book all about different breeds and the wool, and it was just, to a yarn nerd like me, incredibly fascinating. It is called, oh shoot, it is called, I don't know how to work this thing. The Knitter's Book of Wool, The Ultimate Guide to Understanding, Using, and Loving this Most Fabulous Fiber. And if I could get back to, oh my gosh, I don't understand how to use this. There we go. Back to the beginning. It is by Clara Parks. There we go, you guys. I'm not super tech savvy. I haven't used the Kindle app since I read this book, which I finished a while ago. But now I'm like, I should read that again. It'd probably mean even more to me now that I've seen some of the little sheepies. It was so much fun to see, they labeled them. This is a Romney, and then you could see what a Romney is and how their wool grows on them, and a blue-faced Leicester has kind of a bluish face, which, I mean, makes sense. It was so neat. And then this very nice gentleman, I was just so impressed by him and his desire to educate people. He did a sheep shearing demonstration, but he didn't just here's a sheep and I'm gonna shear it. He talked about his family history, the history of shearing, how he got into shearing, how he's passed down shearing, how his family, who has third generation shearers, are working with farmers who are fourth generation sheep farmers. It was just so cool. And then he answered all sorts of questions about how you shear the sheep and what's the wool like. And he was shearing, I don't think they'd be considered babies necessarily. They were 7 months old, which I know if you're thinking humans, that's that's a baby. But these sheep looked mostly full grown. Of course, I don't know how big these sheep were going to get. But he talked about how you shear the sheep at this age because for some reason it kicks their metabolism in and they grow faster. It was just so fascinating. He also talked about how since this was their first shearing, their wool was only about 3 inches long because that's all they'd had time to grow. And so as he sheared it, it came off, but not all in one piece. But the older sheep, because their wool grows longer, will stay more attached to each other. And so that the way that he shears, you can shear it, and then you could just pull the whole thing up and lay it out, and you'd be able to see this is where the head was and this is where the legs were. It was so interesting, so interesting. So I really enjoyed that. I filmed him. Oh gosh, there's feathers sticking out of this pillow. It's poking me. 2 minutes and 30 seconds to shear a sheep. And he was not in a hurry. It's incredible. It's incredible. He said, and I have not gone to look this up, but if you want to be real impressed, he said, go look up speed sheep shearing, and man, they can do it so crazy fast. So I had such a great time. Let's talk about, I have a couple small businesses to share with you that are not related to the Yarn Festival, and then I'm going to share with you what I purchased at the Yarn Festival. Yeah, I have all my stuff. So the first thing I'm going to share with you is my mug. This is one you've seen before. It says, I need a huge amount of yarn, right? Yeah. Friends, I do not need a huge amount of yarn. I I have my own yarn stash, which is extensive. And then my mom passed away, and she was also a yarn crafter. She has yarn both for knitting. She knit primarily. She knew how to crochet a little bit, but she was mostly a knitter, so she has yarn for knitting. But then she got big into weaving, and let me tell you, she had not been weaving for that many years, but she managed to get a lot of weaving yarn. And so I'm just gonna say I have a lot of yarn. I have a lot of yarn, and then my stash got like not doubled because she wasn't professional like I am, which I use as an excuse to buy a lot of yarn. But oh my goodness, Weston's crashed in his kennel sleeping, but he kicks in his sleep. So I do not need more yarn. Has it stopped me from purchasing more yarn? No. But I was thinking, and I say this now because like that seems really far away. I was thinking maybe next year I need to do some sort of stash down challenge. So if you would be interested in that, I would definitely need your support with that. So let me know in the comments below if a stash down challenge is something you'd be interested in. My audience said, like my email list, I guess I should say, said that they were interested in that, and I said, oh, I don't know, I don't really desire to do that. Eating my words now, because now I think I really need to, because I just plumb don't have space. Okay, so the mug is amazing. Highly recommend the mug. This is from Cheeky Ceramics. Rin does an amazing job with her mugs. Even if you don't need a huge amount of yarn, go look at Rin's mugs. She does custom gorgeousness. But the yarn mugs, they do not sell the yarn mugs, but my local yarn shop does. So I'll put, and I believe Sarah, my local yarn shop owner, said she was getting more sassy mugs in soon. She has some sassy ones. Not for the faint of heart. Okay, then the other small business that I wanted to share with you that's not related to the Sheep and Wool Festival is Woodland Stitchcraft. I don't know if you know, but I love Bonnie. She's amazing. She has such an eye for design, and she designed this t-shirt, and I'm obsessed. Okay, Bonnie is one of those people who really loves Halloween. I am not one of those people who really loves Halloween, but I love this shirt, and I really think it's Halloween enough that you can, if you're a Halloween lover, you can absolutely buy this. But if you're more like me, who's like a super yarn lover, but kind of a meh Halloween-ish person, like it's fine, but it's not your favorite. I just think it's such a cute design that you could wear it year-round, and I fully intend to wear it year-round. Now, I told Bonnie that I was going to give an honest review of the shirt, and she said, yes, absolutely, I want you to. And so here's my honest review. I purchased the shirt. It came pretty quickly, but the estimated shipping time is, I don't remember, but it was longer. Like, this is not Amazon Prime, friends. So you're going to need to leave yourself, like, order further out than you think you're going to. Like, maybe today. Link below. You don't have to go find it. I'll link straight to the shirt. Also hooded sweatshirts, if you're getting into fall like I am. So you need to leave yourself a little time. This is, again, small business. It's not going to turn around in 2 days. Several color options, which I love. I went with the blue because you know me. I love me some teal. I was surprised, though I'm not making any guarantees about this. It did come faster than I thought it would. I was so excited. I ripped open my package. I pulled the shirt out, and I was like, it is adorable, but it smells. I am one of those people, I don't know if you are, but like I get something new and I want to wear it right away. I'm assuming because of the printing process, this is nope, I'm not even gonna say that. This is screen printed on, so it's not like it's part of the t-shirt. It's not like raised where you have to worry that it's gonna like peel off. And I assume that the scent came from the process of screen printing. So I thought, well, I'll just lay this over the back of my chair and it'll probably dissipate, right? You know, sometimes you can just like, if something's got a little bit of a fragrance, you can just lay it out and it's fine. The next day, it still smelled. So you also need to leave yourself enough time to throw it in the wash. So I did that. I washed it. Scent is totally gone. It washed up really nicely. And you guys, it's really soft. It's soft. I love the fit. Oh, I told myself I was going to measure my bust. I'm not going to do that on camera, but I'll measure my bust and put it right here. I'm quite large busted. And this is an extra large. I like that it fits nicely across my shoulders. I have the sleeves rolled because they're a little longer. And I don't know, I just like this sleeve length better. I'm thinking about maybe even like tacking them in a couple places to keep it rolled more permanently, because that's just my personal preference. It's a good length. You can't tell now. I have it like styled tucked up with my dress here, but it's a good length. I'm a fairly short person, but I don't think length would be a problem even if you were taller. And I just think it's going to wear really well. It is nice and lightweight, which the temperature has been gorgeous, but I've been feeling very hot lately. And so I'm really enjoying the light weightedness of it. I think I'm going to get a ton of use out of this shirt, and maybe I'll need to buy another one. I love it. I love it. So those are my two small businesses that are not yarn show related. So let's dive into sheep and wool related purchases. I have to say, I'm pretty proud of myself. I set some limits for myself. I went in with no limits. I was like, I don't know what to expect. Is it going to be amazing? Is it going to be a bomb? I had no idea. So I originally set no limits for myself. But once I got there and realized that bomb was the opposite of what it was, but that it was an amazing marketplace with so many things to buy, that I kind of decided then and there on some limits for myself. So I decided I was not going to buy hand-dyed yarn, which was hard because there was so much gorgeous yarn. I could have bought lots and lots and lots of hand-dyed yarn, but between my stash and my mom's stash, I have lots of hand-dyed yarn. So I decided no hand-dyed yarn. If I was going to buy a yarn, I wanted to buy something that was natural sheep color, and that was like really unique, you know, that had like the breed specific. It wasn't just like superwash wool, hand-dyed pretty. I have lots of that. So I wanted stuff that I didn't have and I couldn't get at my local yarn shop. There were several booths that were by yarn shops, and so they had like your kind of classic yarn shop stuff, some Malabrigo, some Cascade, that kind of stuff. I didn't even go in those booths because I could buy that at my local yarn shop. I wanted something different and unique. The other thing I decided was that I have been like turtle's pace inching towards spinning yarn. And so I was like, I'm going to purchase some spinning fiber. So those were my parameters. So let's start with the actual yarn. I only ended up buying yarn at 2 places, and they both followed my my parameters that I just said. And so this is the first skein that I got. You guys, this thing, I don't even know how to express. It is hefty. You pick it up and it is heavy, and it is cool to the touch, which I found so interesting. So this is one of those yarns that it is processed by a family farm. So this is Thistle Ridge, and it is 100% natural color wool from our family flock. And this skein contains 200 yards. They say that it's a 3-ply sport weight, and I love this. It's from the sheep, Jet and Katie. It's so fun to know. I mean, I don't know the sheep, but I love that they know exactly what sheep this yarn was made from. And I think I'm going to do a cowl with this, like a big cozy cowl, maybe. I also like this one because it was more of a cool brown. And you know me, I prefer cool. So it's like a grayish taupey. I love it. It's so squishy. All right. So I bought this, and then I was like, no more yarn. And then we went into a building, which I should show you. We went into a building that had rugs and like tapestries. And I don't understand how these were put together, but I do understand that they were gorgeous. And so we went in there to see that. It was the display of the rugs and a silent auction. And then there were just like a couple stores in there that just must not have fit in the other pavilions. One had wool felt, like my mom did a lot of embroidery. And so it was for that kind of stuff, that kind of like really, I'm not talking like kids crafting felt. I'm talking like serious embroidery gorgeousness, which I don't yet do. And I probably have all the supplies I could ever need for it if I choose to do it at my mom's house. And so I didn't really look there. And then another one of the people in that building was a spinning shop. Right words are not coming to me. Vendor. And so they had like spinning wheels and like carders and combs and things to like process the wool, and bats, and then to spin the wool. And so that was neat to look at, but it was all 110% out of my price range, considering I have spun 0 amounts of wool. But it was neat to look at. And then just as we were about to leave, there was this one little booth, and I just went over and like started squishing. And then I realized that this farm is right by where my parents grew up. So I talked to the owner a little bit, and he talked to me. Oh, well, hey, mister. Where you going? Big shake. He talked to me a little bit about the little towns around there. To be honest with you, I didn't really know what he was talking about because I didn't grow up there. But my mom had talked about how they knew someone, kind of like peripherally, who had an alpaca farm. And I kind of think this was them. So I need to check with my dad. It is called C&M Acres, Alpacas, Fiber Mills, and Fiber Products. So I got 2 skeins, and I'm actually regretting not getting 3 of this really gorgeous yarn. It is 90% merino wool, 10% black alpaca, and it's a 3-ply worsted. So I don't know if you can see, but the gray in it is wool, and then it's got some marling in it of black, and that's the alpaca from their farm, which is so cool. So I don't know, I might see if I can get a hat and a cowl. I've got 200 yards. So I don't know, we'll see. But I'm very excited to maybe have someone close to me who knows about this, or who knows them. So that was thrilling. All right, the other things that I got were just fiber to spin with. So we saw lots of fiber, and it was kind of overwhelming because I do not have hardly any knowledge about what's good to spin with and what's good to start with. And I keep being drawn to all this really pretty stuff, and then I'm like, but you don't know what you're doing. You should probably get some just kind of like meh stuff so that you can be bad with that. So, I don't know. So here's what I decided on. You're gonna be so surprised by these colors. No, you're not. No, you're not. Okay. So the first thing I saw was this. This caught my eye. It's like a gorgeous, like apple-y, greeny, golden color. It's so smushy. And it's kind of heathered too. I don't know if that's coming up super well. You know, it's not just all solid. It's got, oh my gosh, depth to it. So I saw this first. And then I saw this really pretty raspberry color, and I thought those two would be pretty together. But then I saw this. And of course, I mean, right? I had to. So I got some of this, and I got some of this. And as the person who was helping me was weighing out that yarn, I saw this. And I was like, yes, please, that too. Do you see the speckles of color in it? How will that make up into yarn? I don't know. It's Shetland alpaca skinoles. I don't know what that means. I'm probably saying it wrong, but I'm super excited to try with that stuff. And then as I was going around, I was like, do you know what I need? I need stuff to just play, right? I'm not going to be good at it until I try it. And so I found this bag with just a whole bunch of little fun fibers in it that I was like, you know what, this will be good to see, to learn, like, how do these colors come together when you like spin it and ply it in different ways? And like, it's not really enough of any color to do much with, but if I get good at it and I can use it, then I can combine them. And so let's see if I can show you some of the colors in there. So there's like blues and purples, which you know I love. There's a little bit of red, some definite maroons, and then some like yellows. It's real pretty. So that'll be fun to just play with and try. And then right before I was going to leave, I was like, you know what? I want to go back to one of the booths that I saw that had spindles, because I've decided that I'm going to start with spindle spinning. And so there was a wonderful gentleman there. Oh, I should back up. I'm sorry. I didn't say. Oh, guys, I don't know who the big balls of fiber are from. I have the receipt, but they didn't give me a business card, and their little old school pad that they wrote my stuff down on doesn't have their name on it either. So I don't know who that's from. The bag of fiber is from Mikkel's Fiber Arts. Maybe. I'll link to everybody in the description that I have their stuff for. So anyways, I went back to the spindle person, and it was not as, it was getting more towards the end of the day, and so it was not as busy as it had been. And so he had some time to actually like talk to people. And so I nosed in and listened to him talk to some people who were asking some of the same questions I would want to ask, which is like, where's a good place to start? And he did like a real quick little tutorial and was like, go on YouTube. Which somebody else did recommend a teacher in the area. We met a teacher who lives in the UP, which isn't super convenient because that's like at least 3 hours away. But she said, check out this other lady who she thinks teaches locally. So I didn't get to talk to that person, but I did grab her information to look at her stuff and figure out where she's located. So I bought from this lovely gentleman who had a bunch of unique and interesting spindles. I bought a Turkish spindle. So you spin, and you can use this as a drop spindle or a supported spindle, and my plan is to use the park and draft method to do supported spindling to start off. And this was super fun because, and I don't know, maybe all Turkish spindles do this and I just don't know. It comes apart and then like it packs a little easier, which is fun. So already been dropped on the floor by Benton. It didn't break. He didn't know that it came apart, so he tipped it upside down and it fell. But definitely going to keep this out of the reach of little people's because I don't want it to fall and break. Definitely not. So this was my final purchase. All of those small businesses, as always, will be linked in the comments below, or not in the comments, in the show notes below. So just clickety click and find all that stuff. I want to remind you that just a quick announcement, that the mystery Cal is coming in October. The pattern is out to testers. They have been wonderful. There was a little snag at the beginning, which is why we do testing, because then there wasn't a snag for you. It was a snag for this group of testers whose whole purpose was to find these snags and tell me I made a mistake. That's coming in October. It'll start the 8th and run through the 29th. So that's that. Let's do some questions. I knew I was going to ramble about the Fiber Festival because I was so excited about all of it. So I picked some shorter questions. I hope you don't mind. Hey, though, if you're in the area-ish, the Fiber Festival was down by Milwaukee. Next year, let's meet there. It was so fun, and I'd love to meet people and see people. So, I digress. Questions. Question number 1. Hey, Sarah. We see you drinking out of your fun mugs every week, and it's made me wonder, what's in your mug? Is it coffee? How do you take your coffee? Do you drink coffee this late in the day? I'd be up all night. I love that question. Okay, so yes, let's see if I can answer all these. In my mug is coffee. In my coffee is creamer, non-sweetened, just half and half. And here's the secret. I pre-record the episode so that I can put pictures and stuff in and like trim off the beginning and end where it's like me like coming away from the camera. And so I pre-record first thing in the morning. So I'm not drinking coffee at noon. Amen. Me too. I would be up all night if I was still drinking coffee at noon. So there you go. All right, and then I thought this was another appropriate, so question number 2, I thought this was very appropriate because I'm wearing some crocheted earrings and it's about crocheted earrings. So it says, I'd love to make earrings, but I'm so intimidated by the small stitches. Do you have any tips for beginners, for beginning earring makers? Absolutely. Okay, so I have several tips for making earrings. It is intimidating, you guys. I'm trying to think if I don't think I have a ball of crochet thread or the little metal hooks that you use. You use crochet thread, which is cotton, and then you use just a teeny hook. Most of my patterns use a 1.5 millimeter hook. It's itty bitty. It's made out of steel, so you can't break it. And it's intimidating. It is. I don't know what made me think. I designed my first earring pattern as one of my first patterns, my first crochet patterns. And I don't know what made me think, yeah, that's a great idea. I just dove in with ignorance, I guess, which sometimes is just the best way to go about it. So a couple things. One, if you find an earring that you love and you're struggling with the small stitches, make it bigger first. So take some scrap worsted weight yarn and a size 5 millimeter hook and practice making the stitches of the earring and seeing where everything goes with bigger stitches. You can just go and frog it when you're done. Or some earrings make great buntings or decorations. And so you can just keep it and make it into a little hangy-do for somewhere, some little decoration. So if the size of the stitches and you're having trouble like processing where everything goes, make it bigger first. And then you can make it small and then you know what to expect. And just that knowing what to expect and having confidence that you've done it before and now it's just the same thing but smaller, it's key. It's key. My second recommendation is tension. You need yourself some tight tension when you're doing earrings. It's what makes them have a stiff fabric. It's what makes them look super clean and not like sloppy. And it helps them hold their shape. So this is a very thin yarn. When I tension my yarn, I go over my pinky and around my pointer finger, so just like that. When I tension my yarn for earrings, I do the exact same thing. I just squeeze my hand tighter, and so the yarn doesn't pull through. That was totally the wrong way. Anyways, I have my tail where my working yarn should be. My working yarn where my tail should be. Sorry. So I just tighten so that it doesn't pull as easily through, and that helps me keep tighter stitches. But I know several people will wrap around their pointer finger more times to tighten that tension in that way, because having that nice tight tension really helps make your stitches really, really nice. The other thing is you need those tight stitches. So just like with amigurumi, it's going to be harder to get into your stitches, and that is normal. So don't like panic about that. Okay. By the way, this was a ball of yarn that is from my mom's stash, and I think I'm going to make an Arlet cowl, and I'm just going to make, it's going to be so big. I'm just going to make it out of the whole ball. The rainbow makes me happy. Okay. And then the other thing is light. You need good light. Even when my eyes were younger, I still needed good light to do earrings. The stitches are small. If you're a person who, like, I'm on the fence of needing reading glasses, I have just a cheap pair that I bought at Target. And when I do earrings, I need them. Today is like a gloomy, rainy day. I would not make earrings. today. I wouldn't make earrings today. I find that natural light is the best to see. So during the day, I literally sit by this window and like crochet earrings. It's the best way for me to see the stitches. Also, the lighter the yarn, the easier it is to see the stitches. Otherwise, it's all the same stitches. It's not like crocheted earrings are made out of new or different stitches. It's the same. So you can do it. Give it a try. And the great thing about it is that most earrings are only a few rows or rounds. So if you get done and you're like, well, that's awful. You didn't waste weeks and days or even hours. I can make most earrings in 30 minutes. So, but take your time. Don't feel like you need to rush through them. So those are my tips. If you have made earrings, drop your tips in the comments below. I'd love for you to share too. I always say I'm not the be all end all expertiness around here. So you share your tips too. All right, as promised, let's do a giveaway. This is the 25th episode, and thanks for being around for 25 episodes, those of you who have been. Or if you're just joining us, there's more stuff. Go give it a watch. So I thought it would be fun to do another little giveaway. This is really, really just a little giveaway, but I do really love these. I designed Bla Bla Black Sheep stickers. They're not for sale. The only way you can get them is by winning them. And this is my fall sticker. Do you see how the little sheepy has like fall kind of leaves in him? And then this border is like a really deep purpley eggplanty color. I enjoy it so much. So if you would love a sticker, I would love for you to comment below, because otherwise I won't know that you've entered. Comment below about what your favorite thing to make for fall is, and if you've started making one of them. My favorite thing to make for fall is shawls, and yes, I have 2 shawls in project bags right now, and after I do one more project, I'm about to start a 3rd. The 2 that I have on my hook right now are not, they're remakes of designs that I've already made. One is a published and one is a calling for tester soon situation. So much fun. So please enter in the giveaway, share with your friends, let them know we're having a little giveaway over here. And you know what? Tell me where you're from too. I'd love to know where people are watching from. So you don't give me your specific address, but you can just say like Wisconsin or Canada or I don't know, other places. Thank you so much for joining me today. It has been so much fun. Please check out Bonnie's shirts. You're gonna love them. Give them a wash, and then you can wear them every day. Thank you again for joining me, and happy crafting.